We are in the process of vetting locations in downtown Canton to locate our downtown campus satellite, downtown Canton satellite, and shale oil and gas center. So we don't have a location to announce. David still has that ink in his blood and probably thinks I would make an announcement today. But we are doing very good, what I would call good investigation, due diligence in the sites. We currently have 1,200 students studying downtown, not oil and gas, studying all the other 230 programs we offer at Stark State. So one of the things we're going to be doing with the new campus is consolidating what are now 3 different teaching and learning sites into our downtown campus. So obviously we're looking for the ideal location in terms of convenient access, parking. We want to be part of the fabric of downtown. We want to have a site that's interactive with downtown. So it's an important decision.
Thank you. Let me go to Rick next. Rick, can you talk about where community banks see their opportunity in the energy economy?
Sure. I think it's a little different. The community bank sector versus kind of the national and regional banks. Those banks are going to be much more involved in kind of financing of pipeline, financing of refineries and the like. Community banks, by definition, are probably under a couple $1 billion in size. Take deposits locally, loan out locally. So I think the area we see the most opportunity, frankly, will be on the retail side. You see a lot more retail development as more folks come into the market. Housing has really improved pretty dramatically, so the mortgage business is very good. For us, probably the area we've had the greatest expansion would be in the wealth management side, and that's the opportunity that really is generated by the funds paid to the homeowners, landowners, upfront money, and then the royalty payments. Those are typically being paid to folks who have not had great wealth before, and so need someone to assist them in the management of that wealth. What we find is, as a community bank, we're known in the markets. So all of our folks who work for us have been in market for a long time, so they're not seen as someone who suddenly appears in the market, and is willing to offer someone, advice. So we think advice, as someone said, it's about knowing your clients, knowing your customers, having relationships with folks. So I think from the community bank sector side, those who have trust departments will do very well in this business.
Steve, I'm going to ask you to start by talking about when SDB, Stark Development Board, first got involved in shale, because I think you have a good story to tell about that.
Well, this time 2 years ago, I received a call from Chesapeake Energy in my office, and they said that they would like to see if some of our staff and some of our board could sit down and meet with company officials and talk about Chesapeake and talk about their opportunity in Stark in this region. So 3 days later, I put together a meeting. I had probably 4 or 5 members of our board. Actually, Dave Kaminski represented the chamber at the meeting. We had some of our staff. And they talked about Chesapeake. They talked about hydraulic fracturing. They talked about the oil and gas business. And candidly, he had very little knowledge of Chesapeake or the business. So in this meeting, what it led to basically a question, which is, how can we help you? And our feelings were the best way we could help was to try to put together a blue ribbon committee, people from this community that we trusted that could look at hydraulic fracturing and could it be done safely and in a way we would build on our economy. The result was we put together a committee of roughly 10 people who represented medical backgrounds, educational backgrounds, business backgrounds, really, really strong committee who worked through a process over about 4 or 5 months, with the key issue being not the economics of hydraulic fracturing, which were powerful in Pennsylvania, but more importantly, can this be done safely? And through the process, it was an education process. It was really a question and answer process. Some people were against, some people were for, so we took both sides. We came finally through with the committee with an opinion that we felt that, number one, the Stark Development Board, because the committee's work could support this, that it can be done safely. But we issued 10 recommendations to the state, which we felt would help ensure greater safety and more funding to do this thing correctly. The paper was then sent to the governor, our state officials on that, and the result was suddenly we realized more than ever this was going to be transformational to the growth of Stark County. And at since then have been involved in trying to play, in some ways, a support role and sometimes a direct role with working with the companies in that. So it's been quite a learning experience